welcome to the WealthyTrades.com Market Select Picks. This is Tyson Clayton, and I'm going to go over this week's best picks that I can find. Okay, these are my personal select picks. Okay, and I'm going to use a more advanced technique with options. So this may go over your head, but that's the reason why you need to understand the levels to win data. You need to understand the strategies Wealthy Trades uses, and you can get that information at wealthytrades.com. You can go to our resource tab to understand these things. But these are my best picks for the week of March 30th, 2015. I'm going to start by explaining. Listen, the market is in an uptrend, and we need to be a buyer. The market is clearly moving up. It wants to continue to move up. Technicals are fairly bullish, and therefore I need to structure bullish positions. But I'm going to use options because with options I can limit my risk, and I can do that by buying undervalued options, and that's one of my favorite strategies. So I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to start with the XLU. The reason why I'm going to start with the XLU is because, again, I'm going to talk about weekly trades. I'm going to do these every week. They're called Wealthy Trade Select. And on a weekly basis, the XLU, the utility sector, is the best sector to be in. Okay? Well, that's the best sector to be in on a weekly basis. And it's also got undervalued options. Here's the stats for the utility sector. Yeah, it closed at 43.88. It has an expected high of 44.68. I care about the trend side more often than I care about the counter trend side when I'm using these options, okay? But here's what I know. I know that it's got an expected upside of 44.68. That's 80 cents higher than it closed at, okay? And it hits that level 59.6% of the time. Well, with these stats, I can figure out whether an option is fairly valued, undervalued, or overvalued. And this is how I do it, okay? This is extremely valuable and extremely powerful information I'm gonna show you here. Okay, so what I know is I know the XLU itself is in an uptrend. I also know that it closed at 43.88. And the trend side level is 44.68. That's 68 cents. I'm sorry, that's 80 cents. But here's the thing. With the options market this week, I have a weekly expiration that expires this Friday. I can look at a $44 call. Well, because that's the closest to at the money. And again, this is talking about options, maybe a little more advanced, but that's okay. So I'm going to look at the at the money call, which is the $44 call. Right now, the $44 call is priced in the XLU is priced for 36. Give me a second here. The at-the-money call for the XLU is priced for 36 cents. I know that that is undervalued. Why do I know that's undervalued? Well, think about this. I'm going to pull out a very simple calculator, and I'm going to show you this. If I know that the XLU has an expected upside of 44.68, okay, and it hits that, it closed at 43.88, it has an expected upside of 44.68, hits that level in an uptrend 59.6% of the time, I know, okay, well, if the $44 call is priced at 36 cents, that's undervalued. How do I know that? Well, because if it hits that 44.68, right, which it does 59.6% of the time, then that call is going to be worth 68 cents, right? It's going to have 68 cents of real value in it, of actual intrinsic value in it. $44 call, that's the right that I have to buy it at, and now if it hits 44.68, it has 68 cents of real value in it. I'm going to buy it for 36 cents. It's got a 59.6% chance of hitting that. So if the call should be worth 68 cents, right, and it hits that 59.6% of the time, I know that the fair value for that call is 40 cents. Okay, so if I can buy the XLU call, the XLU $44 call for this week, so the expiration on that call needs to be April 3rd. So if I can buy the XLU, the $44 XLU call for under 40 cents, then that's a good trade. At Friday's close, it's trading at 36 cents. I want to buy the XLU $44 call for 36 cents or less. My target's going to be 68 cents. I love that trade. Same thing with the TLT. TLT's in an uptrend. It has an expected upside high. It closed at 131.06. It has an expected upside of 132.94. The at-the-money call is the 131. Well, if it hits that 131, right, or it hits that expected upside of 132.94, then that call, that $131 call, will be worth $1.94, right? So 132.94 minus my call, that's going to be worth $1.94 minimum of real value. Well, it hits that level, the 132.94, 53.8% of the time. Well, if I know that, sorry about that, that's the open. If I know that the call is going to be worth $1.94 when it hits that, if it hits it 53.8% of the time, the fair value on that call is $1.04. Well, Friday's closed at 79 cents. That is an extremely cheap call. I want to go long the TLT 131 call for 79 cents or better, and I'm going to target $1.94. Baidu, same thing. Baidu, I'm not going to go through all these, but Baidu, long story short, I want to go long the 207 call, and I want to buy it for $2.35 or less. Actually, in fact, I can buy it for more than that, but $2.35 is where it closed on Friday. I want to buy it for $2.35 or less. My target's going to be $6.90. I'm not sure if I'm going to get filled on that one. Best Buy, I want to buy the 38.50 call, and I want to buy that call this week for 49 cents or better. My target's going to be $1.21. And Apple, I want to buy the 123 call, this week's 123 call, for $1.80. And my target's going to be $3.18. These are my favorite stocks, my favorite place for this week. I want to buy the $44 call in the XLU for 36 cents or better. Target 68 cents. I want to buy the 131 call in TLT for 79 cents or better. Target $1.94. I want to buy the 207.50 call in Baidu for $2.35 or less. Target $6.90. That's a great one if I can get filled. I don't think I'm going to, but we'll see. I want to buy the 38.50 BBY, Best Buy, for 49 cents or better. And I want to target $1.21. And I want to buy the 123 call in Apple for $1.80, and I want to target $3.18. I'm using the levels to win information. How high should it go? What is the probability of it going there? And I'm finding out are the calls based on Friday's closing, are they fairly valued or undervalued? And all 5 of these have undervalued options compared to what they should be historically. I love these plays. That's the Wealthy Trade Select calls for this week, March 30th, 2015. Thank you for listening. And this information, I'll give you this information every single week, and I'll recap this at the end of the week. Make it a great week.